children, good afternoon everyone. So once again, welcome back you all to the online classes. And you all know that now we are discussing the second chapter from your 6th unit of science part, that is universe. So the second chapter from that is Earth and the Moon. So in this chapter already we have learned about the moon and its surface, how the surface of the moon is, and also we have learned about the lunar month. So what is lunar month? Yes, the lunar month is the time taken by the moon to complete its cycle. Means from the different phases are there. So to complete its cycle of different phases, so the time taken by the moon, it is called the lunar month. And the duration of lunar month is 29.5 days. And to complete one revolution around the earth, the moon takes 27 days. And also we learned about the movement of the moon. So in that we have learned that how the moon is moving around the earth. So the moon is moving around the earth in an anti-clockwise direction. It means from the west to east. And as it is, we know that it takes 27 days, and it shows the differences in the speed. When it is revolving around the earth, it shows some differences in its speed. So when we say that it is moving in the elliptical orbit, so ellipse means somewhere the distance is closer and somewhere the distance is farther. So when we say the elliptical orbit, some distance is close and some distance is farthest. So when the moon is moving in the farthest distance from the earth, so that time it is moving slowly. And when it is moving the closest in the orbit, so then it moves very fast. So likewise it shows the changes in its movement. So likewise the moon, it is moving in the orbit around the earth. And this is the reason the moon is also revolving, and meanwhile the earth is also revolving around the sun, so that it takes some little more time we know that revolution takes 27 days and the lunar month, the duration of the lunar month is 29.5 days. And this is because of the revolution of both earth as well as the moon, so that it takes 2.5 days extra, means 2.5 days extra. Okay, this is what the moment till now we have discussed in our previous classes, and in our today's class we are going to discuss about the phases of the moon. Okay, so now we can discuss the phases of the moon. So here in the first class, means in the yesterday's class, what I said, to observe the night sky, and you have to concentrate on the shapes of the moon. Okay, so are you doing this? Hope you all are doing, because these are all very interesting one. So when you observe the shapes, so it go on changing, and this is because again the revolution of the earth as well as the revolution of the moon. So earth is revolving around the sun and the moon is revolving around the earth, and when they are moving, means when they are revolving like this, so we can see the lit part or the lit surface of the moon. So when it is revolving, so different part will get the sunlight and it will reflect it. So we know that the moon is the satellite and it is the non-luminous object, because it doesn't emit its own light and heat. So what so that we can observe or we can see the moon in different shapes every day throughout the month, and these different shapes are called the phases of the moon. Now I will draw the different phases of the moon. So see, you can just think that this is the earth. Yes, this is earth, and the moon, it is revolving around the earth, yes, in an elliptical orbit. The moon, it is revolving around the earth in an elliptical orbit. So this is what the elliptical orbit. Okay. So see, the moon, and I will show you the sun also. Yes, sun is very important. So think that the sun rays are falling from this direction. Okay. So this is what the sunlight. Okay. So sun rays are falling in this direction, and here it is the earth. Okay. And here we can see the phases of the moon. Okay. Different phases we can see. So when the moon is revolving, so what happened here? The sun rays are falling in this direction as the arrow marks. These arrow marks indicate the direction of the sunlight. Okay, just observe carefully so that you can understand. So these arrow marks indicate the direction of the sunlight. So when the sunlight is falling on the moon, this is the moon and this is the earth, and this is the imaginary path in which the moon is revolving around the earth. And when the moon is in this direction, so the sun rays are falling on this surface. It's because the direction is in this direction. So the sun rays, they are falling on this surface. But this surface which is facing towards the earth, we are there here. We are in this part. We are on the surface of the earth. So when we observe this from here, so this part which is behind the earth, that is having the light, this is called the lit part. Okay, this is having the light, and when the light rays are fall on this is the non-luminous object, and it reflects the light. When the sun rays are falling here, this will reflect in this direction again. Okay, so that this part will not get any light, and we are able to see only this portion. Then what we can see? We are not able to see any light, any moonlight. So that we are not able to see the moon clearly in this time. And this we call as the new moon. This moon, we can call it as the new moon. This new moon, we are not able to see clearly. Okay, this part, we are not able to see clearly. So that we can say that there is no moon in the sky. Yes, Amavasya. Yes, no. So in that time we are not able to see the moon in the sky, and that we call as the new moon. And later, after few days, so if you observe, we can see the moon only the part of the moon we can see. Only the part. So this much part we can see, and this will be complete dark again. Okay. Only some part we can able to see, and some only little portion of the moon we can able to see, and remaining we are not able to see. So only this much part, only this much portion we can able to see. Okay, and this is called the waxing crescent. What we can say? Waxing crescent the moon. So here we can see the half part of the moon. We can see the half part of the moon, and another half we are not able to see. Okay, this half, and this is called the first quarter. First quarter. So quarter means what? Half. So that when the light falls on this surface, so this will be reflect. Okay, when the light falls, so that light will be reflects and we can able to see. So half part of the moon we can see and half we cannot able to see. So that this is called the first quarter. Half, only half moon we can see. We can also call it as the half moon, and this which will come in the waxing phase, that is called the first quarter. Okay, and then after this first quarter, next when the moon comes in this position, when the moon comes to this position, so this time we can see the means only little portion we are not able to see, but other than this portion, this all around means completely only little portion we are not able to see, but this is not the full moon. Little part we are not able to see. The light which is fall on this all the direction we can able to see, and this is called as waxing gibbous moon. Waxing gibbous moon. Okay, here we can see, but only we cannot able to see the some part of the moon. Other part we can able to see. That is called waxing gibbous moon. Okay, and when the moon comes to this position, when the moon comes to this position, so light rays will be fall in this surface again, because the sun light it is fixed. The sun is fixed in its position and only these are revolving. So the sunlight they are falling in this direction. So it is completely lit surface. It completely this surface the light will fall on this surface, but this which is behind the earth, this one will not get the sunlight, and this we can see completely. So when we see from the earth, it will show like this complete white moon we can able to see, and this we can call as the full moon, because we can see round in shape in the sky. You might have observed it. Okay, so this is what we can call the full moon. And after this full moon, next again the moon will reaches this position. Okay, so again like the same way, so we can see the little means some portion only we are not able to see. Okay, and remaining part we can able to see, and this is called as waning gibbous moon. Waning gibbous moon. So we cannot see only the part of the moon, but remaining all part of the moon we can able to see. That is called the waning gibbous moon. And again when the moon reaches this position, so again we are able to see this half part of the moon. Only half part we are not able to see. The other half we are able to see. And this is called the final quarter. Final quarter. This is the first quarter and this is final quarter. Or we can say the last quarter. We can say this as last quarter. This is first and this is last. And again when the moon reaches this position, when the moon reaches this position, okay, again we can see only little part of the moon, okay, and remaining all it will be the dark, only little part of the moon we can see, and this is called the little part of the moon what we can see, that we can call as waning is the new moon which we are not able to see clearly. This is waxing crescent, only the part of the moon we can see. This is the first quarter, half moon we can see, and this is waxing gibbous moon. So almost all the part of the moon we can see, but only little portion we are not able to see. That is called waxing gibbous moon. And here we can see complete moon, that is the full moon. And then it is a waning gibbous moon. So here also almost all the part we can see. And this is the last quarter. Here also half moon we can see. And later the waning crescent moon. Here also only the part of the lit surface of the moon we can see. And lastly again it reaches to new moon. And complete cycle, it is called complete duration of the time it takes to complete this. It is the lunar month. And these are the different phases or what the different shades of the moon we can see. This is all we can say the phases of the moon. Okay. This is about the phases of the moon. And at last I will give some video clip also with this so that you can able to understand it clearly. Okay. So can you able to get the new moon and full moon? Yes. So new moon, it occurs. So this is the sun. Yes, the sunlight means this is the sun and this is the earth. So new moon means here the lit part. It is opposite to the surface of the earth, so that we are not able to see the moon clearly, and this is called the new moon. And the new moon occurs when the moon comes in between the sun and the earth. So position of the earth, sun and the moon. So new moon occurs when the moon, it comes between sun and the earth. So that time we are not able to see the moon clearly in the sky. So that is called the new moon. And the full moon. The full moon occurs when the earth comes in between the moon and the sun. Okay. So that time we can see the complete lit surface or the complete illuminated part of the moon, so that we can see it completely in the ball shape, in the sky, so that we can call it as the full moon. So this full moon occurs when the earth comes in between the moon and the sunlight. Just positions are very important. So new moon occurs when the moon comes in between sun and the earth. And the full moon occurs when the earth comes in between moon and the sun. Is it clear? So this is all about the phases. And here one more you have to observe here. I used waxing. Yes, waxing crescent moon and waxing gibbous moon. And here I used waning gibbous moon and waning crescent moon. So see, the phase, the half phase from the new moon to the full moon, this is called waxing phase. This phase from the new moon to the full moon, this is called waxing phase. So in this waxing phase, the size of the moon go on increasing. So you can see only some part we can see and half part we can see and almost all the moon we can see and full moon. This increasing shape that we call as the waxing phase, that is from new moon to the full moon. And next half from the full moon to the new moon. So here the size, the shape of the moon, it will go on decreasing. So here full moon is there and we can see almost all part of the moon, and again half part, and again only little lit surface we can see. So here the size of the moon go on decreasing and finally we are not able to see the moon, and this phase is called waning phase. Waning phase. So this is about the phases of the moon. Is it clear? Okay. And now we can discuss about the artificial satellites. artificial satellites. Artificial satellites. So artificial satellites, they are the man-made objects which orbits around the Earth as well as other planets. Okay, many artificial satellites are there. So many we are now launching from the NASA and all, NASA ISRO and all. So that these artificial satellites, so they natural satellites, they are different. The moon, okay. So they also revolving around the planets. At the same time, the artificial satellites, these are also revolving around the Earth and other planets, but they are man-made objects and they are launched into the space for different purposes, either to study about the other planets or to some biological or any physical or astronomical, anything to study more about other planets, about the universe and our solar system. So we send these artificial satellites. And the first artificial satellite was Sputnik 1, and this is the Russian satellite. The first artificial satellite. First artificial satellite. It is Sputnik 1, and this is the Russian satellite. And it was launched in October 1957. It was launched in October 1957. And this is the first artificial satellite which is launched into the space. This is the Russian satellite, and this was launched in October 1957. And the International Space Station. International Space Station. International Space Station, ISS. It was launched in 1998. It was launched in 1998, and presently it is the largest artificial satellite. Presently, the largest artificial satellite body in the space, that is ISS, International Space Station. And it has been orbiting the Earth ever since, and for the study, the purpose of this is conducting valuable research in physics. It is researching in the physics, astronomy, biology, and from that. Okay. So this is what the International Space Satellites. And now we can discuss some of the uses of the artificial satellites. And before going to discuss about that, so did you heard the space junk? Space junk. So see, the space junk or the space waste, or we can also call the space debris, space junk or space waste, or we can say the space debris. Okay. So this is all the waste which is gone depositing in the space. So we launch many satellites and they are all orbiting in that, either in our planet or other planet. So they will be orbiting, and after when they stop functioning or due to some of the calamities, they may destroy or many parts may broken. So that all will be gathered, they all will be integrated in the space, and this all waste which is collected by the waste parts or of the non-functioning satellites and all, so that we can call as the space junk or space waste or space debris. Do you think we are polluting the space also? Yes. So just think and tell me. And see, this is about the first artificial satellite and the International Space Station. And now we can discuss some uses of the artificial satellites. For what purposes we are using these artificial satellites? Uses of artificial satellites. Okay. So first thing, the artificial satellites are gathering more information about the universe. Gathering means they collect or they give more information about the space. So we can get more information now about the universe. Now we know that many things, okay, about the galaxies, and like the galaxies there are many other galaxies are also there, and that galaxies are having the solar system like that, and in the solar system there are planets are there, and not only the planets, there are other bodies are also there. So this is all how we come to know, that is because of these satellites. Yes. So it will gather and also it will tell the weather, how the weather or the climate in particular planets or in the other satellites and all. So we know all the information now, that is because of these satellites. They give the information of all this. And to study more about the solar system, yes, studying solar system, yes. So we can able to know how many planets are there and how they are revolving and in which direction they are revolving and what are the objects are there in the particular solar system. Yes. So we can able to understand or we can able to learn by the information provided by the satellites. Yes. And also it helps in the communication, helping us in our communication systems. Yes. It helping in communication systems. Yes. So here the satellites, they will transmit the radiations and the transmitters will be there. They again send to the satellite and they will be received by the, some receivers will be there, and the receiver, from the receivers we get the signals. So who are working in the it's the communication, who are working in that particular area, so they will get the signals from the receivers. we have launched many satellites. So that some of the notable Indian artificial satellites. Some notable Indian artificial satellites. Okay. So you might have all know that. Have you heard this name, Aryabhatta? Yes. Aryabhatta was the first Indian satellite. Yes. Aryabhatta, it is the first Indian satellite and it was launched in 1975. It was launched in 1975 with the help of the Russian. With the help from the Russia, they sent the Aryabhatta and it was the first satellite, first Indian satellite. And INSAT or Indian National Satellite System. You can say Indian National Satellite System, that is INSAT. These are the series of artificial satellites, means the multi-purpose satellites. These are multi-purpose satellites and launched by the ISRO. So these INSAT, they are the multi-purpose satellites and these are launched by the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. This ISRO means Indian Space Research Organization. They are these INSAT. These are the series of multi-purpose satellites and these are launched by ISRO, and these satellites help in communication, television, broadcasting. These mainly they will be helping communication and television broadcasting, and weather broadcasting So in these all satellites, the multi-purpose satellites, what the INSAT are there, so they will give the information about communication. They will help in television broadcasting. So we can see many television programs now, and they all need the signals. Yes, we can fix the signal device also on the roof. So that is having the receiver, and that receives the signal, so that we can enjoy with the television programs and the weather broadcasting. So every day we can able to get the report, weather report we can get. So the temperature will be this to this, and there may be the raining or whatever the weather report we can get. That is all information sent by the weather, these satellites. Okay. So and also communication also they send the signals. So like this, these INSAT, they are the multi-purpose satellites. And the next thing, it is Mars Orbiter Mission. The next one it is Mars Orbiter Mission. It was our first interplanetary probe to the planet. It is our first interplanetary probe to Mars. So this was the first interplanetary probe, means the Mars Orbiter Mission. So inter means we not send this satellite to only the Earth's orbit. We launched this to another planet of our solar system. So that we can call inter. In our solar system only. So we one, and it was our first mission to the moon was launched successfully on October 22, 2008. It is sent on the moon. It was successfully launched on the moon on October 22, 2008. October 22, 2008. Yes, in that October 22, 2008, the Chandrayaan-1, it was launched successfully on the moon. So these are some of the notable Indian artificial satellites. Okay. Is it clear? And now I will give you an attached video clip with this so that you can able to understand the phases of the moon as well as these artificial satellites. Now let me show that. Phases of the moon. The moon is a non-luminous heavenly body because it do not have its own heat and light. We can see the moon because the sun's light illuminates it. The moon revolves around the earth, which in turn revolves around the sun. The moon at times comes between the earth and the sun, and at other times the earth comes between the sun and the moon. Change in position of the moon between the sun and the earth creates the phases of the moon. So you can see here the different phases of the moon. So phases of the moon. The first one is full moon. So as you see the moon, it is full moon. The full moon takes place when the moon is on the opposite side of the earth from the sun. The moon usually passes above or below the earth's shadow. The moon reflects the light of the sun and appears completely illuminated. Phases of the moon, and the next one is new moon. The new moon takes place when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. So here, the unlit side of the moon faces the earth while its illuminated side faces the sun, so that we are not able to see the moon. That is new moon. The moon is not seen very clearly from the earth on a new moon light. Artificial satellites. Man-made objects that orbit the earth and other planets are called artificial satellites. The Russian satellite Sputnik 1 was the first satellite to go into space in October 1957. The International Space Station ISS, launched in 1998, is presently the largest artificial body in space. It has been orbiting the Earth conducting valuable research. So here in the physics, astronomy, biology, meteorology, so in all the aspects they are helpful. So uses of artificial satellites are: gather more information about the universe, study the solar system, help us in our communication system on Earth, some notable Indian artificial satellites. The first Indian satellite, Aryabhata, was launched in 1975. INSAT, or the Indian National Satellite System, is a series of multi-purpose satellites launched by ISRO. So it is the ISRO, what we can say. So here they are all helpful in the communication, television broadcasting, weather forecasting. Mars Orbiter mission is our first interplanetary probe to planet Mars. This was launched on November 5, 2013. And Chandrayaan-1, our first mission to the moon, was launched successfully on October 22, 2008. Tides are caused by the gravitational force that the sun and the moon exert on the surface of the earth. The gravitational force raises the level of water, thereby causing tides. High tide when water bodies rise to levels higher than normal, and the low tides when water bodies are at levels lower than normal. Yes, so this is what about the phases of the moon as well as the artificial satellites and their uses and some of the notable artificial satellites, Indian artificial satellites. So I hope you have understood this, and even though if you have any queries or doubts, you can contact me and clarify your doubts. So with this I will conclude